Hello friends, you're watching Legendary Leader with Gerald, Arun, Das. A tale goes like this. A group of soldiers were there in the mountain of Alps. They were on a very important scientific mission. Having completed the mission successfully, they were returning back to their base camps. Being the best of the battalion, huge celebrations were planned for them as they were returning back. However, on their way back, they met with one of the worst snowstorms ever. The snowstorm was worsening every second that they even struggled to keep up their lives and their breathing. Though these soldiers were trained to be strong, but the ruthless winds mercilessly pierced and tore away their confidence and tested their limits, finally pushing them into running and hiding to save their life. Not knowing what to do, they waited there until the storm would calm down a little. And finally, when the storm calmed down a little, they had an even more bigger war to be waged. Because they understood they have lost all forms of communications with the satellite, and therefore they were into the wilderness completely all alone. They were lost into the mountains of Alps. They argued which way they should go. But in the fading light, every peak looked the same. Disturbed, confused, and uncertain, they did not know what to do. They finally surrendered themselves to death because they knew they were hours away from their last breath. Now, out of nowhere, their captain came running from the cave where he was hiding along with few other soldiers, and he said to the soldiers, "See what have I found." And he showed a map. "I found this map inside the cave. Probably it has been left behind by a mountaineer who came here during the last hiking season. So now we have a way to go back to our bases, to our life." The soldiers were filled with untold happiness because as they were in the verges of their death, something revived back their life. Trusting their leader, getting inspired by him, they took their backpacks and they followed him into the wilderness. It was not an easy trek back to the camp. 18 hours of painful, long stretch it was, but finally they made it to the camp. And once they made it to the camp, they wanted to give their colonel an extraordinary gift. So they decided they will give him a life-size portrait. A portrait with the map that guided them back through the wilderness, through the uncertainty, into life, to be put on the bottom of the portrait. And now they secretly scouted through the colonel's bag, hunting down for that map. And finally, when they got the map, they were all filled with joy. And now they opened the map only to be shocked, because the map wasn't the map of Alps, but it was the map of the Disneyland, the theme park. Last winter, the colonel took a family vacation to the Disneyland alongside with his family, and he carried that map as a remembrance of his family with him wherever he went. And he knew this map was not just an ordinary map, but it is going to reinstate the confidence among the soldiers, and he utilized it. Now, let me tell you, today we are exactly like the soldiers. We are disturbed, confused, and uncertain. We live in a world of uncertainty and fear. The pandemic has brought the entire world down to its knees. Yes, my dear friends, I understand if you're filled with fear and uncertainty about your future, but let me tell you, uncertainty does not only threatens you, but it threatens even the most powerful leaders of the world. Will you believe me if I tell you, Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, he, even after founding the company called Apple in the year 1976, still he was reluctant to leave his job back at HP because he was uncertain about the future of Apple. And even when an angel investor offered them $250,000. Still, he was not willing to give up his job easily. When such legends can be filled with fear. Martin Luther King, one of the greatest leaders of this world, when he was given the opportunity to lead the civil rights movement, he rejected it because he believed and all he wanted to be was a pastor and a college president, nothing more. He was not ready to take the leadership position because he feared uncertainty. When Pope commissioned Michelangelo to paint the ceilings of Sistine Chapel, the great cathedral, Michelangelo rejected the offer, saying that he is just a sculptor and he is not a good artist. And in fear of that Pope might again summon him back, Michelangelo even fled the city where he was. Let me tell you, when these great leaders have feared and fled away in fear, if you are fearing uncertainty right now, I will not complain you. That's perfectly normal because that is how we are designed and tuned to be. But the irony of success is that all these extraordinary legends became successful, became extraordinary leaders only when they embraced their fear of uncertainness into their heart. Uncertainty, fear, and confusion has become the new law, new reality of the world where we are living in. This new world, my dear friends, is sculpted for the successful people. Always understand, the world prays down the weak but not the strong. You need to be strong right now. Let me repeat it to you. Uncertainty is the key to success. Uncertainty was the key to success. Uncertainty will be the key to success. In my previous video, I shared with you how during the most uncertain times of financial meltdown and economic depressions, magnanimous organizations like FedEx, Procter & Gamble, IBM, General Motors, GE, Walt Disney, LinkedIn were all formed. They were all successful because they embraced the most uncertainties that they could ever face, and that paved down their way for their success. Let me tell you, my dear friends, your glory, your castle of success is only by walking through the doors of your fears. Understand that. Now, the billion-dollar question you should be asking yourself is, how did they do it? These organizations were successful even during uncertain times because they followed 3 rules unconditionally. What are those rules? Let me tell you. Rule number 1, stop looking for an opportunity and start looking for a problem that you can resolve. Yeah, you've heard it right. Your business and leadership should revolve around solving a problem for the greater good of the people. Stop chasing behind the opportunities because that's a wild goose chase. Many people are going to chase that. But leaders always look onto what is that problem that they can resolve. I have a question for you. What is your business built upon? An opportunity that you saw or a problem that looms over the vast majority of people? Understand, people is the key to success of your business. People pay more, they are involved more to resolve their problems. They don't care about the opportunity you have, but they care about resolving a problem of theirs. So redefine your business based on this rule number 1. And this is exactly what the Colonel did. He resolved the biggest problem that he had in front of him. Yes, the problem was the soldiers felt completely lost. So now he needed a map so that they can trust him and follow him through. He followed rule number 1. Rule number 2, to win during uncertain times is you need to be a creator and not a competitor. Competition, my dear friend, is a cat fight, whereas creativity is a fight of the elite. Make your idea different. Bring in that one small element into your business that will make you different from others. You need to create an edge over the others in the market. Remember, you can do it only when you are inspirational, because only inspirational leaders, my dear friends, have the capability to fuel creativity. If you ever want to be an inspirational leader, you should be inspired. Until you are not inspired by your own vision, you will never be able to inspire anyone around you. Rule 3 to win during uncertainty. But before that, you might ask to me, did the Colonel do that? Of course, yes. He inspired people. He walked the way. He went forward. He marched in front of all the soldiers. You need to be inspired to inspire the world back. Understand? Now, rule number 3 that is needed to win during uncertainty is fall in love with entrepreneurship, but not the idea. Unfortunately today, many failed entrepreneurs fail because they fall in love with the idea. That's where you're making your mistake. Will you believe me if I tell you, P&G was started as a company that manufactures candles. IBM was started as a company that produces punch card machines. PayPal was started as a cryptographic company. Apple at some point of time was manufacturing TV appliances and digital cameras and more so. Listen to me. Do not restrict your path. Follow your journey. Follow your path with your instincts. Trust your journey, because when you trust your journey will take you to your destiny. And that is exactly what the Colonel did. He trusted his journey with the fullest of his heart. Those 18 hours, he was literally blindfolded. He just followed it, and it took him to its destiny. And you also will be taken to your destiny. During the year of 1997, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, the founders of Google, tried selling their company for less than $2 million. But luckily, the potential buyer rejected the offer and did not turn back in the last minute. Not often, my dear friends, we get lucky like them. Understand that. What makes me feel funny is that night they should have felt completely dejected and heartbroken because they did not know what the future was holding for them. So are you today, dejected, worried and confused about the future. So were the soldiers, dejected, confused, worried and uncertain about the future. Understand, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, probably they got lucky. You might not get lucky, and that's why I tell you. So better trust your journey with your heart. Follow your journey. Yes, the journey is going to be painful. The journey is going to be tough. But staying back where you are is knocking your doors to the hell. Do not do that. The glory of your future is awaiting you. This is the year of growth. Go in with all you have got. Trust me, uncertainty is the key to success. If great leaders have not believed in embracing uncertainty, today this world would not have seen legendary leaders like Steve Wozniak, Michelangelo, and 1,000 more leaders would have been missed for the future. And if you are unwilling to embrace the uncertainty in your life right now, this world is going to miss an extraordinary leader like you. And trust me, you have got what it needs to win. Go in with all you've got. Safe game is a dirty game. Play with your heart. Stay tuned to my channel for the upcoming videos where I'm going to reveal some of the important secrets on how to grow from an ordinary manager to an extraordinary leader inside the organizations that you're working for. Let's stay together and let's grow together. If you like this video and if you love to listen to more of my soul-stirring and thought-provoking talks, all that you'll have to do is please do subscribe to my channel and do not forget to like this video. And I also urge you to please share this video with all your loved ones and dear ones. And thanking you again, this is your Gerald Arun Das.